I am a Russian. I can do a very convincing Russian accent, but I think you could be very distracted if I spoke like this, so I'm just going to switch back. Okay, well, thank you today for coming. And as you see, today we're going to be talking about George MacDonald and the art of myth-making. And a lot of people in America, when I say George MacDonald, people either go, or they go, who is George MacDonald? And I'm not going to make any presumptions here. And even in this room, somebody said, I love George MacDonald. And somebody else said, it was my first time reading George MacDonald. So I'm going to presume we are a mixed bunch. Again, I'm not going to make too many assumptions. But if I do say something, sort of presuming you know, please don't hesitate to ask or, write a note and we can talk about it later or even right after. But I'm going to make just a quick introduction to George MacDonald, if you don't mind. He is a Victorian Scottish, is a Victorian Scottish writer. Here are the dates of his life. So even though he's known as the father of the Inklings, they never really met him, so please don't succumb to rumors. That's not true. But most modern MacDonald fans, especially Christians, meet him in one and the same way, through C.S. Lewis, through reading C.S. Lewis's book, The Great Divorce. I don't know if you've read the book. It's one of my absolute favorites, and I strongly and enthusiastically recommend it to you. But the passage that is very, very famous from the book is, I don't know if you know the book, but C.S. Lewis, or the character of C.S. Lewis, finds himself on the bus that goes to, I'm going to call it pre-heaven, sort of a pre-heaven or pre-hell, depending on where you decide to go. And there he kind of wanders around, meets people, and he bumps into this one person who I don't remember if he's wearing a kilt or he looks Scottish or something. And he says, I don't know you, sir, said I, taking my seat beside him. My name is George, and I'm not going to do Scottish accents, so you have to imagine it. My name is George, he answered, George MacDonald. I cried, then you can tell me. You, at least, will not deceive me. And then, supposing that these expressions of confidence needed some explanation, I tried, trembling, to tell this man all that his writing had done for me. I tried to tell how a certain frosty afternoon at Leatherhead Station, when I first bought a copy of Fantastes, sorry for the typo, being then about 16 years old, had been to me what the first sight of Beatrice had been to Dante. Here begins the new life. And that's pretty strong. And then he kind of goes all excited about MacDonald. MacDonald very characteristically says, son, I know. It's all right. You don't have to get all excited. And then he, very Virgil-like, leads him around the pre-heaven or pre-hell. And this is what George MacDonald meant for C.S. Lewis.